Garrett Blevins here with a little bit of an update on training and life for those of you who've been wondering. I know I've been off YouTube for quite a while and really even haven't been on Instagram very much either. For those of you who haven't gone over and started following me on Instagram, that's a better place to follow me right now because it's just a little bit faster to get footage up. Been just really busy being a new father, working through a master's program, and working 3 jobs. It just gets pretty hectic sometimes, but it's great too. I'd much rather be busy than have nothing to do, but I'm excited to get back in the swing of training. This is week 2. I'm working again with Hanny from TSA. He's helping me with some of my program and will be handling me in the meet as well. And so I think it's one of those things, a lot of people say that, even really advanced lifters, it's good to have a coach. And so that's something I advise. If you've never had a coaching experience, you may not want to go full in like meet prep, like thousands of dollars if you're a early to intermediate lifter, but you may want to get some coaching advice professionally rather than just leaning on those who are in your gym or people you've met, and make sure you're working with somebody that's reputable. There are a lot of good companies out there who do guided programming, and it's a good kind of in-between model to work with, especially as a novice lifter who's starting to run out of those early gains, and especially for intermediate lifters, because if you're going to spend a lot of time doing something, you want to set yourself up right. In any case, I am working with Hanny from TSA again. He's been my coach before and knows me pretty well, and it's good to have somebody that understands you and has a good feel for how you lift and how you compete to coach you. And that's not something you can get on the first training cycle either. That's where you want to spend an extended period of time with somebody so they get to know you. That said, I am in week 2, working with pretty light weights and variations of the lifts. Even though it's a short training cycle, it's 11 weeks from when I started to when USAPL Raw Nationals will be. I'm still using some variations of the lifts, specifically to strengthen my back. If I can keep from being rounded over as I come out of the bottom of the squat, I'm going to be able to squat a lot more because the strength is there in my legs and hips, but I just need to make sure that I can maintain positioning. So working on proper bracing, I'm always preaching proper bracing to you all. That to me is the most important thing that you need to get right about powerlifting, is getting that neutral spine and learning to hold it properly. At least for the squat and the deadlift. Bracing in the bench is still right, but it's obviously not going to be with a neutral spine. It's going to be maintaining and holding an arch and holding your shoulders in the proper positions as well. Regardless, that's a major focus at the beginning of this cycle. Doing a lot of safety squat bar work as well in conjunction with that to really help myself get used to that weight pulling me forward. I'm using the safety squat bar upside down. That's not where it's in front of your neck, but rather instead of the handles pointing out towards you when you go into the rack, the handles point back like this. And when you do that, you have to flip the weights all the way around to where the weights are now jutting out straight in front of you. It pitches you forward and pushes you forward that much more, and that's really what I'm working on with the safety squat bar. Quinn, he does some movement therapy, works with Juggernaut, or next to Juggernaut Training Systems. I don't know if he's officially associated with them, but anyways, he advised that that was a way to use the safety squat bar, and the first time I ever used it, I accidentally used it upside down because I didn't know what I was doing. But it is definitely a very interesting stimulus because it pushes that weight forward, and so you've got your center of gravity forward. In any case, that's what's going on with training right now. Going 3 days a week, but I'm going to try and push that to 4. But again, recovery is my most important and most difficult thing to have right now. Just working on getting a consistent sleep schedule with everything that's going on has been the biggest challenge. But I should be able to at least upload a couple of videos over the next couple weeks on how training is going, because I'm in a break between master's classes and have just a little bit more time. So hopefully I can do that. This workout is probably going to be my heaviest workout of each week. It's going to have a competition squat and a competition bench, and I'm not doing any sumo right now. I'm just letting my hips recover, and I'll hit that pretty hard going into nationals. Hoping for a big pull. I had a lot left on the platform in the last competition that I went to. I just need to improve on all 3 lifts. It's going to be very competitive in the 105s. It's been competitive for a few years now, but it's going to be really competitive this year. You've got Ogden, who's got a 1947 unofficial world record, I think. You've got Bryce Lewis, who did a 1922, I think. You've got the current world champion Eli Burks, and also some other really strong lifters who are coming in. It could be anybody's game. It's going to be probably 1 to 2% on total separating the top 3 or 4 spaces. It's going to be about who can make the most lifts and who can be consistent and bring their training into the meet. So hopefully I can hang with those people. They're great lifters, and I'm just really excited and blessed to be able to compete at all. So as I went to that next set, I started thinking about some of the things I learned from this last competition. Some of you may or may not know, but 2 years ago I totaled 1873 at the Fall Classic in California. It was just a local meet. That was 2 years ago. And from that point forward, I did not make a PR on my total in a competition, even though for part of that I was competing at a heavier body weight. I was going after some really big numbers and chasing records for a long time, and just kept narrowly missing, getting really close on lifts but falling short. So one of the things I've decided to do is that instead of chasing records, instead of chasing people and trying to think about how to win, just trying to be the best that I can be, and let other people worry about beating me. I think that's a better plan, at least for me. It fits my personality better, because I just don't like rooting against people. And when you're trying to beat somebody, it's hard not to root against them. And I remember the first nationals I was at, rather, Eli and I did most of our work together. He kind of walked me through my first nationals and came alongside and really was encouraging and helped me out. We were kind of going together, doing our warm-ups, things like that, because we were going after Nick Tyluki. And so it was fun. The next nationals, last year's nationals, I barely even saw Eli. He was kind of on the other side of the warm-up room most of the time doing his own thing. And I was doing most of my lifting with Bryce Lewis, which was really good, don't get me wrong. It was fun to hang out with Bryce that way. He had a great meet and has been gaining momentum since that meet. Everything seems to be clicking for him. But I was so focused on winning the meet, which I didn't do, which Eli beat me out, that I kind of missed out on some of the camaraderie that comes along with going to a national competition. And, you know, it's just a lot more fun, in my opinion, to go hang out and have a good time with people and have everybody encouraging everyone to do their best. If everybody sets a PR, who cares who wins? I mean, this is, at least to me, a sport that's about progress, about being a stronger version of yourself. And if you start comparing yourself to everybody else, you're always going to find someone better, no matter what that comparison is. So long story short, I'm going to start looking at my own lifts and going after those and setting my own incremental PRs instead of getting caught up in chasing after world records. If the world records happen, fine. And that also doesn't mean that I'm not going to know what the record is. It's not like I'm going to act stupid or pretend that I don't know, but it's not going to be the main focus. It's not going to be the priority. And I think that is a better way for success in lifting and a better way for success in life. Work on improving yourself and being a better version of who you are, instead of trying to be a better version in comparison to somebody else. I just think that that's a better way to do things. So anyways, I'm going to get back to the workout. So I hope wherever you're at, you're doing well. Blessings.